Peace, peace. Happy now. Now the vibrate, of course. We're not going too far in the future. We're not going too far in the past. Right now, a day after the other 11/11 portal, just want to give an energy update. As a matter of fact, start seeing why, like I did that video about working with agates, and I caught like a few other downloads, and then I came across a video that kind of gave me confirmation of like, all right, that's what we're going through. But basically, again, a spike in the shamanic resonance. Right now, the shamanic resonance is raising. We integrating our energies, because I realized why I was in New Orleans, and doing certain things to ground ourselves in our experience, So, and that's why I tell people, it's a certain uniqueness to our growth, because for some of us, drinking alcohol and being out and about may bring us to a place of, discard and bring us to a place that's unbeneficial to us. But for me, myself, because I'm just so because I'm normally too far in the clouds, being social on that level is something that's, a benefit to me, so, but basically we've been pushed to work in areas of grounding ourselves more, integrating our higher self, higher energies within this body. It's basically like, of course we are God on the human experience, but we are in human bodies. In order to do things to the maximum ability on this physical realm, it's having a connection with your bodysuit. But just promoting the vibes again, like that's why I did that video about agate, to kind of just slow down, take your time, reflect, and then we come into a new moon, so that energy kind of goes into it as well. Matter of fact, the new moon is going to be in Sagittarius on the 7th of December, I think, if I'm not mistaken, which I probably go a little bit into that, but it's definitely about us breaking out of karmic cycles right now, so that's why a lot of us, may find ourselves back at our parents' house, back at our old hometown, or wherever the beginnings of our growth took place, and again, it's some, not all, and like we all on different levels of growth, so a lot of us having to go back to that root chakra work, but just in general, like, cause some people have to go back to maybe some heart chakra trauma, or whatever, but again, we just basically just cleansing out our aura, cutting all those cords of energies that we've been tied to during lifetimes, like in basically breaking those cycles. And it's now a vibe to, trust and surrender the universe, getting more and more into that vibe of trusting the process. As a matter of fact, also recently, the energy that was felt was also a vibe, if you felt like a vibe of like not knowing what to do next. Like you kind of felt like you're just floating around, like it's like, all right, what to do, Because again, that's part of that energy too. That's why I spoke on that agate, not knowing that's what we was going through, but now, with the confirmation, seeing like that's why, I was told to, speak on the agate and take it slow, because we was going through an energy that kind of had us in this void like place, and kind of had us in this place of just like, feeling floaty, and normally like that, like you could get in a place of like trying to again overdo things, so that agate helps to just slow down, reflect. The spiritual growth is about being over time, and also agate promotes a connection to the earth, because that's another thing in those modes of like feeling uneasy, or the energy too spiky, or whatever the case may be. One of the great therapists for that is going out in nature, especially again barefoot grounding, which I gotta put my video up of me. It was cold, but I still got it on the LSU mounds out here by the stadium. Getting that good grounding in, because I could just feel all that like noise and just all that just kind of just come from out of you and through the bottom of your feet. real therapy. But yeah, don't panic, and two, just to put it out there that again we're gonna go through these fluctuations of energies. So again, through repetition, us keep going through these things. Matter of fact, which I kind of did learn my lesson to a certain extent with not realizing, but which it be a balance, because I'm gonna be honest, with being a person who speaks on these different energies while they're going on, but then at the same time I'm going through the growth too, so I have to respect my own growth as well, you know. But thinking about like where I was trying to push, because they had like one or two videos that I think I at least one for sure I did around the time, and I just had to like throw the whole thing out because it's like I was fighting through it. My energy was kind of just making me forget things purposely. And I know when it's like that, when the universe is not in support, like, because when universe is in support of me doing a video, you know, it flows well. And not to say, when it's not flowing extremely well, that the universe is not in support of it. Again, that could be me just being too much in the lower vibration, so to speak, and not being able to deliver that high vibrational message, Like, that's the whole thing. Like, if we're not vibrating close to that frequency of those high vibrational messages, it's hard for us to interpret it, and it's hard for us to conceptualize it and intellectualize it and deliver it to other people, So now I've caught myself in those modes. So I realized, that's a sign of that. Just sit down and chill. Like, don't, like, we know you want to do videos, but you also going through this shit too. So you need to go sit your ass down somewhere as well, basically, you know. But, and matter of fact, and now since that, starting since yesterday, and matter of fact, I got to do a video about that. Nope, I'm gonna keep it a secret. But nah, my first tarot deck. Ooh. Matter of fact, I'm excited. I got it yesterday. But just feeling this vibe yesterday and going into today of like after going through those little energies, the past few days, before yesterday, like now it feels like a more clear, like I feel like my greatest version, so to speak, in so many words, like of course I know there's more greatness that could go to this version, but I'm just feeling that connection, like the synchronicity was just way up there yesterday, and no coincidence that the synchronicity up there on the 11 gate day, because you have the actual November 11th day, but then the 29th, 9 plus 2 is 11 as well, so that's how you get that 11 in there as well. Again, portals opening, a certain grounding energy. Matter of fact, also dealing with again 11/11, turning things on, putting us into action. Again, you walking through that door. You ain't walking through that door to go to sleep. You're walking through that door to turn something on, to take action. The reason why I keep doing my hands like this, because straight lines, masculine energy, 11 ones, that's, as a matter of fact, no coincidence, one also deals with the Ram zodiac sign, the first zodiac sign, and it's about that masculine, that Mars and masculine energy, that red root chakra. Head first, take action, again, that straight line, that one. And right now, from here on out, I'm just feeling the vibe. Of course, we're gonna still have different, portals opening and closing, and making us reflect on things we need to clean up, and then giving us a little energy boost to come out of, because after going through these realizations, I talk about, like, with Black Obsidian, how Black Obsidian could get too overwhelming, and like we go through this vibe of, shining the light on our darkness, but then, it comes a point where also after going through, you know, that energetic stress to a certain extent of like having to deal with your shadow self, you know, because it could be intense for some of us, you know. But then you get this little clear energy, you know, later to like, all right, you done did enough of little work, you done went in, you know, got it in for a little second, back out of the fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, uh, and I say back out of the fight, but you know, basically like the high self and, you know, spirit guides throwing some energy in support of you after that little, you know, that little bout is like, all right, now it's time to kind of give you something to cheer you up, keep you, you know, on the up and up. And again, we all at different parts of our growth. Some of us might be going through the dark night of the soul right now, and everything seems like it's just upside down and, you know, just messed up and going astray. You know, again, that's that pressure to make a dime. And some people like, oh man, my roommates, this and that. You know, my mom and dad at the house, man, what to do? You know, basically, it's the universe telling you you need to move around or you need to speak up, you know, because a lot of things too, well, we be feeling like we need to move around, but we not speaking up. Like, what people doing these things around us, but then we not sharing that, hey, I don't deal with that type of behavior. Or, hey, you know, like we gotta speak up first and foremost, and then if the people are still bothering us or whatever, you know what I'm saying, then you know, have to move around or whatever, because it's definitely about, you know, because some of us, again, like what we deal with people, say for instance, I done had somebody talk about like, you know, man, my coworkers keep coming up to me having conversations about shit I don't want to deal with, this and that. Well, it's like, bro, you're not saying nothing about what you deal with and what you really like. You just sitting there like, you know, whatever. You gotta let them know like, hey, brethren or sister, and I don't even really, you know, not knocking what you're talking about, but I don't even much deal with y'all be talking about. So that's why, you know, I be on a different vibe, or whatever, you know. But letting them know, like, you know, and again, that's like passing the game, you know, because as long as you're not saying nothing, it's gonna continuously happen. But then when you put your foot down and just, you know, express yourself, of like, you know, well, hey y'all, I don't really, you know, vibe with that type of information. And then you might get, well, what do you vibe with? Because you never know. Here it is, where a lot of times, again, we be assuming and pre-stubborn about like, oh, they talking about other shit and they don't vibe with me. But then you don't say nothing. How you don't know that when you say something, they might try to vibe with what you vibing on? Well, like, all right, what you be into? You know what I'm saying? But you don't, you know, you don't know that unless you speak, you know. Or like I'm feeling like, so say for instance, again, like, or treating that situation where you have this energy of not wanting to deal with them, but then instead of, again, speaking up, like, well, I'm gonna just quit the job. Well, nah, that energy gonna be waiting for you at wherever you go at, whether you try to be an entrepreneur or next job, whatever. That same type of energy is gonna be sitting there waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? So again, definitely about addressing situations and speaking up, because again, that's why I always bring up as a you know, with that quote unquote empath energy, you know, one of the things that makes us strong in our area of setting boundaries is having the courage to speak up. And I always speak on that throat chakra. Like, a lot of times we just be failing to speak up. Like, we just fall into a hole of being quiet and not saying nothing, and then be like, woe is me. Well, of course, woe is you. You ain't saying shit. So of course the energy gonna eat your ass alive. You know, like, it is what it is. Compared to like when you speak, say what it is, and then for sure, now if they still whatever, then of course you move around or you do what you gotta do. But compared to just sitting around without even speaking up, like, at least speak up first and foremost, you know, and speak how you feel, you know, because again, the reason why you're going through this situation for the most part is because you're not speaking up in the universe, making it intense for you to step up to the plate and say what you gotta say, you know. So, and right now is the opportunity to bite the matrix and shake it like a pit bull. Think about what that was. Friday, next Friday after next, could you bite and lock up and shake like a pit bull? With Uncle Elrod playing Santa Claus. I do not own any copyrights or anything to the movie Friday After Next. I'm just referencing this video. You know, but yeah, right now it's time to, grab life by the horns. But now, again, but so matter of fact, that new moon in Sagittarius, that Archer expansion, Jupiter, not too long ago got the 555 angel numbers. That five in essence kind of deal with that Jupiter energy expansion. Matter of fact, do I have something on it? But the Sagittarius energy is definitely, again, helping us to expand, be more adventurous, get out of that comfort zone. Matter of fact, because part of that 555 message is to, do something different. Matter of fact, kind of to enjoy life on the level of like, being a little more social. But definitely like letting go of the past, like, again, because in order to expand, like you can't expand if if you holding on to something. Like if I hold on to this table and I try to walk this way, like my hand gonna stay tied to this table until I let it go, just like our past, you know what I'm saying? Well, if you try to hold on to your past, how you gonna move forward if you still holding on to it? It's almost like a chain, like a dog being chained up, like that's like our past. And if you walking a certain way trying to expand, but it's like, oh shit, I can't even go that far. I can't even expand that far because I'm still being held down by my past. Still holding on to a certain situation with my mom or my dad or my grandmother or grandfather or family. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something that no longer benefits me. To have this strong vibe about. At this point, it's now hindering me. So it's time to again expand and expand the growth and get out of that vibration, so to speak. But I know I had something. Oh yeah, 555. Just to speak on it again, Jupiter / Sagittarius energy, shooting for the stars. Matter of fact, also being adventurous. So again, like after we just come out of this shift, a matter of fact, going through that void feeling of not knowing what to do next or what, Now, because matter of fact, too, remember like that void, that primordial mother energy, that dark, matter, that space of pure potential. Well, although chaotic, because again, with so many potentials, that could be chaotic in essence. You know what I'm saying? That's why we, kind of feel like, all right, what's, kind of like lost. They almost kind of have like a chaos, like, all right, what a, but it's just that place of a pure potential, and again, like allowing for that to being adventurous is going into the unknown. You know what I'm saying? Like even the personification of going into the waters. I spoke on that from the Truman Show video. Definitely go check that out. But you know what? In order to kind of like he like fuck that. It seemed like they got me in this TV show. Like he was starting to find out that this fucking his life that he thought was real was actually a TV show. So he went out on those waters. But that was a personification of him like going into that unknown and like dealing with that trusting that mother, primordial mother God energy. Going out on them waters, and also a representation of the subconscious waters, going deeper into the depths of the subconscious. Not being scared to go into the unknown. And when you out there on water, especially when you ain't got no love, I'm doing like this, but like you ain't got like no compass or any type of like tool to read direction. Just floating. But again, is a promotion of that adventurous vibe right now. To do something different, expand, connect with people, like that social. Cause matter of fact, like in the connect with different, vibes, different people, and again, different strokes for different folks. For some people, already may be, out there with people already, so it's not nothing that's really that's trying to help them or push them along in that area because they're already good in that area. But for a lot of us, it's gonna be, pushing us to expand a little more, connect with people a little more, And 555, basically, about taking action, you know, being more social, again to a certain extent, and doing what we love, being more positive and optimistic in our thoughts, That's another thing. Matter of fact, I'm going through this. I may have done a video on 555. This is so on the fly, y'all. So, but again, letting go of the past and breaking out of old routines, Again, for myself, having to break out of routine of eating late at night sometimes, and letting go of the past as far as like, my connection with, that strong connection. And it's not saying that I'm going to loosen up my connection with family, but it's more so not tying myself to them on a level where, where it affects or pulls my energy in certain directions. Like, I gotta just, hey, they are who they are. They're gonna be who they be. I'm gonna be who I am. When it's time for us to build and connect on a high level, we're gonna build and connect on a high level. But up until then, it's not meant to be forced. It's not meant for us to force information on people. I feel like, again, that impact. Well, I could fix them. You know what I'm saying? Like, go check out my video about that empath vibe. I don't know if it's dealing with narcissism, but if you just type in universal frequencies empaths, that video should come up. But like that vibe that we get, like, and it's almost like an egoic vibe within the empath. Again, like to just feel like, I could fix this situation, I could fix this person with my love and my empathy. I could change. It's like, nah, be you, do what you gotta do to fix yourself. Matter of fact, here it is, I could fix them, but you can't go into a crowd of people like, oh man, but I don't like going to a crowd of people. Like, how the hell you gonna figure you gonna be there to, And again, we going through the growth and levels to our growth, did that video about that, where, in certain points we do get a certain little, we know we out here to help. So, we gonna, try to do it from the best of our ability, but sometimes that's from a perspective of not, knowing more about how to carry ourselves spiritually. So, like, it's like before we get to that literature that tells us like, hey, you're not supposed to just throw yourself out there. We kind of got to go through it to see like, all right, damn, no, it's not meant for me to try to fix everybody, So if you don't come across the literature and read it, the universe definitely gonna make you aware of it, as well. But that's basically it. Just making sure, you're connecting with Gaia, with the Earth, Mama Matrix, see it. Connect with that Matrix, because again, we are in this team. We are in it. We are in it. Like I are a baboon. Y'all remember that cartoon? I am a weasel. Matter of fact, I better get back to that place of being, because that's my true energy, joking, laughing, clowning. And matter of fact, even down to sometimes like being corny with my jokes, it's like, it's funny to me. But again, just coming more into our being, integrating the higher self, the physical body, because again, sometimes when we balance, it's like, think about it, trying to make it even, to a certain extent when we say balance. And again, that's what this Babylon language just causes confusion. Because some people, when they say balance, they don't necessarily mean, because when I use it, I don't necessarily mean that everything has to be 50-50. It's just like balancing it out as far as like, because something so even though the scale of balance is meant to make things, weigh the same, when I'm using that terminology, I mean like make it weigh whatever, beneficial for you, like just balancing it out and not necessarily making sure it's all, because some of us gonna like to be more physical than others. Some of us like to be more, into the spirit than others. And if everybody was 50-50 in that area, then we all would be kind of, doing and, talking alike, walking alike, but doing all the, basically being the same thing, you know what I'm saying, and not having that uniqueness. Some of us might need a 60-40 balance in a certain area. Some of us might need a 70-30 balance in some area, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, a more so an integration, again, integration of energies, and not more so like, oh, wait, this one got a little bit, so let me forcefully, try to, be masculine. Like, like basically like trying to force balance. Like, no, go with what you feel, That's why it's all about being in the moment and more so of an integration. Check out the video I did on integration instead of balance. I did it recently too, so. But that's basically it, y'all. Again, new moon in Sagittarius, December 7th. All about the expansion, all about, that what it is, that mutable energy. Mutable energy is like, like it's not fixed, and it's not like that cardinal sign that's like, here, I'm kind of here to stand as the example, and it's not fixed in one area. It's like mutable. It could kind of, can kind of adaptive type of energy, you know what I'm saying? Because expanding that Jupiter energy, expanding the comfort zone is a level of adapting, like, adapting, like I gotta spread my comfort zone, but that's basically it. Peace. Happy now. Now's a vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past. Right now.